think it's going to be a technical fight in the beginning. And then I think later on, Shakur going to pick him apart, man.
There's just something about Teofimo, man. He brings out a different level and somehow supersedes that guy who is that damn good. I've seen it. We've seen it already. I'm not saying anything that anybody else hasn't already seen.
I think he's overrated. I think so. I think so, yeah. He's been decreasing on his style. Yeah, but people amp it up like he's really got the goods.
Trainer Bozy Ennis made it clear that this is a tough fight. While he sees Shakur Stevenson's speed as a weapon that breaks opponents down, he made it clear that Teofimo Lopez is dangerous in every moment and cannot be taken lightly.
I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. You know what I mean? People think, a lot of people say it's going to be easy and all. Nah. Teofimo can punch and he can box. And like I said, he's real athletic, so, you know what I mean? That'll make it a little difficult right there, you know what I mean? See, Shakur boxes big guys, light heavyweights and all that stuff. Just like Boots, he boxes heavyweights and put the heavyweights down. You know what I mean? I think that's the right move for him, you know what I mean? Get up and I think he can really do good at that weight.
On the other hand, Coach Zahir Abdussalam doesn't hesitate. He's all in on Stevenson, calling it easy work. Salam points to Stevenson's sharpness, his top-tier ring IQ, that slippery defense, and how he controls distance better than almost anyone. He doesn't see anything in Lopez's style that would trouble Shakur. In his mind, Stevenson takes away that power before it's ever a problem. Salam expects a dominant decision, but if Lopez starts to wear down, he thinks Shakur might even get the stoppage late.
Speaking of Shakur Stevenson, he got a highly anticipated fight going up January 31st. Pretty sure you're going to be in the building against Teofimo Lopez. What you think of that fight?
Easy.
Damn, you.
I ain't gonna lie, it's easy work. Easy work. Shakur too sharp. He's seeing everything in a boxing game, seeing everything. His IQ, his skills, his defense, his counter punching, everything. It's going to be an easy fight. I think it's going to be an easy fight.
So does Teo pose anything that could possibly make this difficult?
No, I don't think so.
So it's just going to be a landslide.
Skills really pay the bills, in my opinion. So with Shakur's skills, I think he's going to outclass Teo easy.
Decision or stoppage?
Decision. I think Shakur can possibly wear him down towards the end and get a stoppage, but decision.
Meanwhile, the talk around Stevenson's contract demands has been heating up, and Bernie Thawboxer jumped in to set the record straight. He backed the idea of a rehydration clause if Stevenson faces Devin Haney, pointing out Haney's huge size advantage. Haney could come in at close to 170 pounds on fight night, while Stevenson is really only a natural 147. Bernie says the clause isn't about fear, it's just smart. It keeps things fair and safe. Weight matters. Ignore that, and you're asking for trouble. Still, Bernie notes the fight at 135 never happened when it should have. That ship sailed. Time to move on.
But Devin big as hell. I mean, look at him. Look, you can see how huge he is. He's big as hell. He looked like, man, he looked like a damn near different person, like a different fighter, And I said it on my last live before he fought Brian Norman. Devin Haney big as hell. Shakur is not that big of a fighter. He's not that big of a fighter. But at the same time, like you said, it's business. And that's really the clause is so he doesn't come in at too heavy. Devin might come in the ring at 170. Shakur gonna be probably about 147 when they fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something, I don't knock him for saying it, and I don't knock him for believing in that, but just let that fight pass. They should have fought at 35. Devin obviously didn't want the fight. So now, since it's off the table now, let's just go ahead and go on about their business. Let's let Devin go be Devin. And Shakur be Shakur. I think that's just it. You know what I'm saying?
Then there's Conor Benn. He laughs off the idea that Lopez is in for a war, saying this is a chess match, not a brawl. Things get a little personal when someone accuses Benn of disliking Stevenson. Benn shrugs it off, not hate, just a bit of respect mixed with irritation. He admits he took offense when Stevenson said he'd make easy work of jumping to Benn's weight. From there, Benn gets playful, poking fun at Stevenson's elusive style and giving Eddie Hearn the credit for teaching him how to disappear in the ring. The sarcasm is thick, but Benn's real point is clear. He's not buying the Stevenson hype, he's just not impressed.
I'll back in Teo. I think he's in a hard fight. Well, he's not in a taxing fight. He's in a complex fight in terms of boxing. Like, it's not in a grueling war. You won't be in a grueling war, that's for sure.
Playing devil's advocate, obviously, as a journalist as well, you look at pound-for-pound rankings and Shakur is a lot higher. I know you don't like Shakur, but do you not have respect for what he could do against Teofimo Lopez? Because you've dismissed him there, Connor.
No, I don't not like Shakur. I like Shakur. Okay. I'm just insulted he thinks he can come up to my weight and feel like he can just make it easy work. Well, come up to my weight then. I don't not like him. I think he's a funny guy. I think he's funny looking as well. It reminds me a bit of, Tom and Jerry. Yeah. Which one? What's the mouse?
I didn't even watch
Jerry. It reminds me of Jerry. Oh, literally, yeah. Turkey called it. I didn't even realise. Yeah, Tom and Jerry. He does all that running around.
Moving ahead, analyst Paulie Malignaggi identified the Teofimo Lopez fight as a serious and uniquely dangerous threat to Shakur Stevenson's rise. Lopez isn't just another opponent. He's the guy who lights up when people doubt him, when pressure's on, when everyone expects him to crumble. That's his thing. Paulie says this matchup gives Lopez exactly what he needs. Critics, tension, and a massive spotlight. Most fans probably back Stevenson, the steady and consistent technician. But Paulie keeps coming back to one fact: Lopez breaks the rules. He flips momentum out of nowhere. One spark, one surge of belief, and the whole fight changes.
Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like is a big threat here to Shakur. And then it would all come undone because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so damn good.
Malignaggi is stressing that Teofimo Lopez has an intangible, almost supernatural ability to elevate himself in elite fights. He explained that while the tape, the skill set, and the logic all point towards Stevenson being the future star, Lopez brings something weird to the table, a factor that doesn't show up on stat sheets or highlight reels. Malignaggi calls it a mental tug of war. You've watched Lopez pull off the impossible. You've seen him shrug off the odds. That's why this fight feels risky. Even with Stevenson's dominance, Paulie says, this is the kind of night where anything can happen.
Fimo has a way, when you're so damn good and he knows you're so damn good and everybody feels like you're gonna beat him, there's just something about Teofimo, man. He brings out a different level and somehow supersedes that guy who is that damn good. We've seen it already. I'm not saying anything that anybody else hasn't already seen, okay? I'm just stipulating it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know who wins this fight. Because again, your better head says Shakur, but then you think about, man, Teofimo, again,
he's got the X factor.
He's got the talent to I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Shakur is extremely talented and could be the face of boxing as far as being that good and being that dominant, even though no matter how good you are. But this is one of the rare fights where you can get beat.
With the super fight between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez looming, Bozy Ennis delivered his first detailed breakdown of the highly anticipated clash. Ennis breaks it down like this: the early rounds will be tense and tactical, with both guys feeling each other out, looking for openings and setting traps. No one's rushing in. As things heat up, Ennis sees Stevenson starting to take over, using his timing and angles to chip away at Lopez round by round. But Ennis shuts down any talk that Stevenson's in for an easy night.
Officially announced as a fight we talked about a little bit while back. Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson.
Good fight.
January 31st. I know you're going to be in the building.
I'm going to be there. That's my young boy. Yeah.
Now that it's here, what you think?
I think it's going to be a technical fight in the beginning. And then I think later on, Shakur going to pick him apart, man. He's going to pick him apart. And I gotta tell everybody this, that Whichcomb is real athletic too. Teofimo. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight. You know what I mean? People think, a lot of people say it's gonna be easy and all that. Nah, Teofimo can punch and he can box.
Fully Fully embracing the magnitude of the moment, Teofimo Lopez described the showdown with Shakur Stevenson as pure destiny. He framed it as the true fight of their generation, placing it alongside legendary rivalries like Mayweather versus Pacquiao in terms of meaning and legacy. There's confidence, sure, but also real respect. Lopez says both he and Stevenson see each other as the real test. It's gone past rivalry now. It's about recognition. No more trash talk, just two top fighters admitting what's at stake. For Lopez, real fights are made by real fighters. And now it's all direct, just two men ready to make their mark.
To be real, it's honestly, we understood this day would come. Me and Shakur.
Both, yeah?
Yeah, we understood this day would come because we knew out of the bunch that you guys all talk about, from the Haneys, the Garcias, and so on and so forth, the Tanks, we knew that us fighting was going to be the cream of the crop because we're the best of the best. We knew that. He knows that. I know this. It's almost as once in a lifetime of Saturday, September 13th, Crawford and Canelo. This is kind of like the reversion of everything. The old is going out. Now comes the new.
Is he that other guy? You know, like the Pacquiao has Mayweather, Mayweather's Pacquiao. Do you look at the current crop and go, he's the best of the ones apart from me? Is that how you see Shakur?
I believe he sees it the same way, yes. Yeah. I see it the same way. We see it the same way. And we wrote to each other. We call each other now. We talking. We trying to make these things work.
Trainer Kenny Porter offered a technical breakdown that directly challenged the idea of a one-sided outcome. He framed the matchup as pure boxing versus pure dog, with Stevenson bringing finesse and Lopez bringing the fight. Porter acknowledged Stevenson's elite speed, but argued Lopez's speed is right there with him and backed by aggression. More importantly, what stands out though is Porter's take on Stevenson's style. He thinks Shakur moves backward too much, which kills his own offense. If Stevenson isn't pressing, he's not turning his speed into damage, and that, Porter says, makes things way more even than people think. No obvious favorite here.
Shakur is ultra talented. He's just not a talented guy, he's ultra talented. And he's got some great hand speed, and his feet work very well.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of hard. He's an elusive guy to catch up to. And if that's what his game plan is, if he's successful with that, T.O. is the guy that may not like the way that Shakur fights when they get in the ring. He may not, he may stop and stump his feet and say, "Come on, man, let's fight."
Yeah, that's
Shakur, but we talk a dog, T.O.
Yeah.
And T.O.'s just as fast. There's speed and there's elite speed. T.O.'s got speed. Shakur's got elite speed. But that's not too far off, especially when you're not a come forward fighter. Shakur's not a come forward, step to you with my speed and hurt you with my speed type fighter.
Yeah.
So, that speed gets neutralized when you're moving in the other direction.
Absolutely.
It gets neutralized when you're moving in the other direction. No, it's not 60-40. It's a 50-50 fight.
Roy Jones Jr. placed the upcoming showdown firmly in elite territory, comparing its foundational quality to the Crawford-Canelo super fight headlining the same card. He argued that on a pure skill-for-skill basis, Stevenson versus Lopez is every bit as good, even if the resumes don't yet carry the same historical weight. He broke it down like this: Crawford and Canelo sit at the very top because of what they've already done, while Stevenson and Lopez are equals on their own rise, young, hungry, and already elite. That's what makes the matchup so risky and exciting. Nobody gets an easy out, and there's no obvious favorite. It's just raw talent on both sides. Jones called the whole night a rare double feature, with the younger stars ready to steal the show with pure skill.
Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez.
That's a good damn fight too. See, that fight is skill for skill, as good as this fight. Yeah. But they just haven't been around long enough to prove themselves yet. But skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because of where they're in their career, because how accomplished they are. These two guys are also equal where they're in their career, because they're accomplished, but not as accomplished as these two. But they're still equal accomplished. You understand me? So those are two good damn fights and what boxing means.
As always, Roy, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you, brother. It's their job.
Shakur Stevenson then addressed the matchup directly. For him, this fight is about proving himself at the highest level. He didn't sugarcoat it. It's going to be tough. A real test against an elite opponent. Still, he's sure he'll come out on top. When people brought up other options, Stevenson said Lamont Roach would be a decent matchup, but Lopez is the one who matters. Bigger name, more achievements, and a bigger legacy if he wins. Lopez's status as an undisputed champ and his success in different weight classes made the decision easy. For Stevenson, this isn't just another fight, it's a career move. If he beats Lopez, his resume starts talking for itself.
Fight coming up. I heard you was the one that wanted to fight, right?
Yeah. I actually set this fight up. And I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level. And I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough test, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Lamont Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Teo, he's a bigger name though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's won belts at 35, won belts at 30, at 40. So he's more accomplished. So I know that would be a better name on my resume.
Then Stevenson took things up a notch. He called Teofimo Lopez legitimately crazy, not as an insult, but almost as a warning. He leaned into that idea, saying fighters with that kind of wild mindset are the most dangerous you can face. Lopez's intensity and almost delusional self-belief make him unpredictable, and Stevenson knows you can't really prepare for someone like that. All you can do is manage the chaos. Stevenson respects Lopez's drive, but he still thinks something's off about him, and he believes the mental games will be just as important as the fight itself.
The face-off was interesting, and some of the things that he was saying at the press conference was interesting. What did you make of his vibe overall?
I think something mentally wrong with him. I don't think he's like all the way there mentally. I think he's crazy.
Legit?
That's my opinion. Yeah, I think he's legit crazy. I think something really wrong with him, but that's what make him dangerous. I think them the guys is the most dangerous people, them delusional, crazy people who want to be the best and want their spot at greatness. So I gotta respect it, but I think something is definitely off with him.
Former opponent Lamont Roach offered one of the most confident predictions. He thinks Stevenson wins, and not in a particularly close fight either. Roach praised Stevenson's ring IQ, patience, and discipline, saying those are the things that'll frustrate Lopez round after round. He gave Lopez credit for his big win over Lomachenko and his obvious skill, but pointed out Lopez has always had trouble with pure boxers like Sandor Martin and George Kambosos. Those fights showed Lopez struggles when he's forced to think instead of just reacting. Roach also mentioned Lopez's mental slip-ups as a weak spot. In a clean, technical fight where Lopez can't just bully his way through, Roach says Stevenson is in his element.
Lapses every once in a while.
So who do you think wins that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight?
I think Shakur wins. And I don't think it's going to be like a super tough fight either. His IQ will frustrate him.
Don't you think Teo has also good ring IQ and also is slick, fast?
I think explosive? So, but when you look at Teo's performances against guys that are just pure boxers, it's just like he almost lost to Sandor Martin. Some people thought he lost to Sandor Martin.
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too. A hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win. And he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just, I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like, cause it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to rough Shakur up, and it's probably not going to work.
In his final pre-fight assessment, Teofimo Lopez didn't hold back, bluntly labeling Shakur Stevenson as a slow fighter at lightweight. Lopez suggested that Stevenson's drive comes from hanging around big names like Terrence Crawford, pushing himself to jump into deeper waters. Lopez gave Stevenson credit for stepping up, but he didn't sugarcoat it. He thinks Stevenson's never dealt with anyone like him. Nobody with his kind of power. Nobody has that championship edge. For Lopez, this fight isn't just another challenge. challenge. It's a reckoning, and he's sure Stevenson's about to lose for the first time.
Shakur is slow. He's slow. I seen him at lightweight. I seen only highlights of his last fight with Cepeda, and he's slow. He's really slow. There's nothing more to it than that. So I think that with everybody that he's seeing and from his group and from those that have been, killing the game, honestly, like Terrence Crawford, which he calls and refers to as Big Bro. I think that the whole thing of that nature, I think that's really what's keeping him wanting to aim for bigger and better fights and for better opposition. I have yet to see, and I think you could attest with me, I don't think we have seen Shakur face anyone higher than who he's going to face next, and that's of me. So, I definitely, commend him at least for stepping up to the plate. But I think it's time. I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss.
At first, Insider Showbiz had Stevenson winning. On paper, Stevenson checks all the boxes: skills, focus, discipline. But then Showbiz saw both guys up close. The energy changed. The way they carried themselves, locked in and ready to go, made it impossible to pick a side. All that certainty just disappeared. The more he watched, the more it felt like a coin flip. In the end, Showbiz just shrugged. This fight is as close as it gets. If anyone claims they know who's winning, they're just guessing.
After being there and being behind the scenes and witnessing all this shit, I don't know who's going to win the fight. And that's the Black Two Sugars. I went from being very certain that Shakur Stevenson wins to thinking about it and saying, this fight is very close, to now being behind the scenes with both Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, being there at the press conference and saying, I have no idea who wins the fight.
Now it's time to turn the conversation over to you. Does Shakur Stevenson's elite IQ, footwork, and defensive mastery slowly suffocate Teofimo Lopez over 12 rounds? Or does Teofimo's explosiveness, confidence, and big fight gene erupt when the pressure peaks and flip everything upside down? Are we in for a slow-burning chess match where every round is a careful puzzle? Or does Lopez remind everyone he's at his most dangerous when people start doubting him? What really wins championships? Steady experience or that edge of belief and hunger? And when the dust settles, are we looking at a passing of the torch or the spark of a rivalry that begs for a rematch? This isn't just about a win or a loss. It's about legacy. It's about building momentum. It's about deciding who owns the future of boxing. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a fight preview, breakdown, or post-fight reaction. Drop your prediction in the comments, tell us who wins, how they win, and which round you see it ending in. Until the next breakdown, stay locked in. We'll see you in the next one.